This is 90 feet of a plaza on which the Embrace Memorial will sit on, and it's honoring Dr. Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King and 65 other civil rights icons in Boston.
The Embrace was created to honor the legacy of Coretta Scott King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and their time and work here together in Boston and beyond. Over the last couple of years, we understood that King Boston needed to meet the moment. It was an opportunity to bring us all together.
This day gives us great hope that we will learn from and embrace the lessons from our past and then act on them.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the founder and visionary who made this possible. And he's known for building things from scratch, and now he can count a memorial on his list. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend, Paul English.
I want to just call out a few people here today. My teachers, most importantly, Reverend Liz Walker, Reverend Jeffrey Brown, and Marie St. Fleur. These three have really brought me into the different neighborhoods in Boston and taught me how to connect and listen to and communicate to other communities within the city. So I really can't thank them enough.
What I love about this moment and what we are about to do to break ground in a season of breaking fast, in a season of reminding each and every one of us of our place of belonging rooted in the greater community, is that not only are we embracing our history, our role as a city in this partnership that changed the world forevermore between the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, our history in creating the spaces that would get passed down generation after generation, but also our role in signifying every single day that we embrace everyone who finds their way to Boston.
And I think in some ways the speech that he gave over there 57 years ago, this month, 1965, 22,000 people. The mile of marchers from a playground in Roxbury to that bandstand in the rain to make their point heard about the fact that the time had come for radical change, not just here in Boston, but across the Commonwealth and throughout the country.
We're incredibly thankful for the enormous public and private partnership that it took to have this all come to fruition. As philanthropists, Key and I invested in this effort together because we wanted our two children to have symbols that constantly remind them that this Boston is their Boston.
Today we're here to celebrate love and family in Boston. And I want to yell, we're here to celebrate Black love. Because this is a love story that happened here.
It is my pleasure and my honor to be a part of this moment in history. And I'm hoping that all of you, even though the sun has left us for a moment, I'm hoping that you are savoring every bit of this, because this is Boston. It is its hopes, its aspirations, and its inevitability.
This is a relay race. You know, the baton was passed to us and it's being passed to that next generation. This is a relay race about who we want to be in this country, who we want to be in this city. And it's up to us, and it's not just words, it's action. So I thank you for allowing us to plant this footprint right here in the middle of the oldest public park in America. Because someday I'm gonna walk with my grandchild right here in this park, and I'm gonna say this happened here. So thank you.
Thank you to King Boston for not only the hours of time that you spent to negotiate this development, but also for the impact that you guys will make for not only this generation, but for every generation after us. In a place like the Common, this is historic, and we are appreciative for you for a lifetime.
Boston always prides itself in being first, and this is a first, right? And this is one of those moments in which Boston can step up and become the #1 city when it comes to racial equity, the #1 city when it comes to economic opportunity for Black and brown people. And this memorial goes beyond just a memorial. It's embracing equality, it's embracing equity, it's embracing opportunity. And that's why it's important for me to be here today.
My name is Hank Willis Thomas. I'm a conceptual artist. My earliest memories, I come from a photographic background. I've always loved pictures, and I love the way that we can connect to the past looking into this window through a photograph. And so ever since I was like 4 or 5 years old, I've been looking at photographs and trying to get back to these moments. And so the sculpture is really a result of me trying to get into the heart of that hug, that embrace on that auspicious day when Dr. Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize. It still doesn't seem real. Like, even though it's been 2+ years since we got the commission, it's hard to imagine that something that might have come out of my mind will be right there, that's going to be there for generations, centuries, maybe even more. That's just, I can't even believe it's true.
My hope and prayer is that this isn't just about some simple type of love, but it is to remind us that throughout generations that there have been injustices that need to be remedied, there's been hurt that needs healing, and that all of us are hoping for that day where we can come together and that we can live peaceably among one another. And so I'm hoping that this is a constant reminder that when we get laxed, when we get too comfortable, when we get complicit and complacent, that there was someone who wasn't just speaking about nonviolence, but creating radical change in our society so that all people will be made whole.